Hello, beautiful souls. Well, I don't know about you, but I have been dreaming about airplanes and airports for 2 nights in a row now. Last night, first night, my dream involved, it was a very cushy flight. And I say that because we were sitting on these giant cushions. Kind of reminded me of Miss Muffet sitting on her tuffet. And we could see out like the whole, it was more like a spaceship, actually, than an airplane. We could see out the whole front. And there was big screen, like kind of show playing, but I wasn't watching it the whole time. And then all of a sudden came over the announcements that we were there, and it was way early, as in way early. And I was like, maybe it's just my sense of time is off, right? Next thing we know, we hear the gal over the intercom go, "Oh no!" And then down the plane goes. Just straight for the ground. And, as I was saying, there were windows everywhere, so you could see what was happening. And I remember this fear, I was petrified. But it was also like my first thought was, oh my gosh, I need to try to just tell my kids I love them, remind them that I love them. And there was no way that I was going to be able to do that because we were coming in too hot. And it was weird because at the beginning, it looked like they were going to be able to level everything out. And we started to turn, and like we were over this like grassy area. And then the pilot, I guess, started to turn, and we were over all of these docks at this waterfront. And then I woke up before crashing. It started my day off yesterday with this very weird, eerie feeling of foreboding. And, I have had precog dreams in the past. That's not what this was. This was definitely not a precog dream. At least in the traditional sense. But it really does feel like there's something that's about to happen. And also just it's left me wondering a lot of things about my life and whether I'm going in the right direction, or am I coming in hot for a crash landing? Do you know what I mean? I mean, metaphorically speaking. But then last night I had a dream, and I was in an airport, and I was with Master Co, who I've never actually met in person, and another man. I don't know who he was. And we were in an airport, like a restaurant in an airport. We were like getting ready for our flight. And he had a hamburger and French fries. And I was going to go out of that restaurant and go find something, a different burger place, which is weird. So I left all my stuff there, and I changed my shoes because I had my big, my usual boots that I wear that are like lug sole, like motorcycle type boots. I took those off and I put on something else, and they were, whatever I switched into was way lighter. Oh, Trixie, she keeps, they weren't Crocs, but it was kind of like the lightness to wearing Crocs. And then I had on these like short capri pants, and I I put on this sweatshirt, and it was a new sweatshirt, newish. It was a white sweatshirt with this ginormous DC on the front. And it was almost like it was that DC shoe brand, if you know what I mean. But I knew that it wasn't like, that's not what the DC stood for, but that was like the styling of the letters of the DC on it. And I was running through the airport trying to hurry and go find this certain place I had remembered that I'd walked by or something. And so here I was off on my own journey in the airport, having nothing to do with actually getting ready to go on a plane, really. And as I'm running through the airport, I'm seeing all of these families, and they're all decked out in this sports gear. And I'm from Seattle, so they're all wearing like Seattle Seahawks gear, including like slippers and everything. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, that means I'm probably getting, because I was coming home from somewhere. It was like, I'm probably getting close to being time to go get on my flight. So I need to hurry. So I get to this burger place, and the line is long. And I look at the burger, because they had them made ahead of time. And I looked up ahead, and the burgers definitely did not look as appealing as the burger that Master Co. had ordered in the place I had just left. So I got out of line or whatever, and I started running back. It's interesting, I'm running everywhere, right? So I get back to the original restaurant. We were sitting up at a bar, the three of us all shoulder to shoulder. And I ordered a cheeseburger. So I still had time. I mean, I had to hurry, but it was not a big deal. But I realized that I left my new-ish DC sweatshirt. I lost it somewhere on the journey between that restaurant and the hamburger place I was running to. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to maybe try to go back and find it. And this whole thing dropped in about attachments. And this is the reason I'm making this message, is because of what then came in after that. DC stands for divinely created or divinely crafted. It's the same thing. I don't need to wear a sweatshirt to prove my worth. I don't need to do anything to prove my worth. It is innate. Because I am divinely created, and so are you. What was interesting is I had this choice point of staying. I already looked at this thing as journeying off to go find a different hamburger place, as like this, we have free will and we're able to journey off and do the things that we want to do, kind of separate from our mission or divine purpose or our main thing that we're doing here. And it didn't take long, and I was hurrying and I was running and I was, taking it all in. And then I got to wherever it was I was going, and I realized that it really wasn't all it was cracked up to be. So, no harm, no foul. I ran back and got to the starting place, pretty much. And nothing really had changed. Nothing was different, really, except for that I had wasted. And I'm going to use that word and go, wasted a little bit of time. And what's weird is that time it was not wasted. Everything was fine. I didn't miss a flight, But then in the realizing I was then missing my sweatshirt, it was like, okay, let it go. This strong message came in about letting things go, letting attachments go, letting attachments go to things like the sweatshirt, to people if they're not helping you grow through expansion. And what was interesting is this knowing also of sometimes these people help us grow through contraction. We feel this toxicity or whatever, and we decide to make a change. And that's all divinely orchestrated too. Anyway, trippy. And now I'm off for my day. But I had to share this because we take these diversions, these detours all the time in our journey, and it's okay. We go back to where we started from, or a little bit further on our journey, but it's not a big deal. Quit beating yourself up for going to get a hamburger or going to look for a cheeseburger and fries somewhere else and then changing your mind. It's all good. It's all good. You're divinely created. This whole place is about making decisions, and sometimes we make decisions and change our mind. Don't beat yourself up about it. Consider what you are attached to and what in those attachments are keeping you living a certain way. The people, things, ideas, the labels, the expectations. Consider what those attachments are doing in your life. Are they keeping you stuck? Because if you're feeling stuck, if you are feeling stuck and it is your attachments that are contributing to that, it's time to let them go. It's time to shift. Maybe not like actually physically let them go like I did with that sweatshirt, but maybe it's time to shift how you're seeing them and being okay whether they're there or not. What I'm realizing is that we don't always have to let go physically of every single thing. We just have to let go of our need to hold on to anything so tightly. Anyway, little message today about attachment and dream time. What are you learning about in your dreams? Dream time is crazy, I tell you what. Anyway, I love you, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.